Africa has a wide range of architectural styles developed over many centuries across different regions. These styles reflect the use of various natural materials found in each area. Common building materials included stone, mud bricks, coral, and wood. Builders selected materials based purely on availability and environmental suitability. Construction methods involve stacking, molding, carving, and joining these materials to create stable structures. Designs were adapted to meet the conditions of the local climate. Structures vary from walls and enclosures to buildings of different shapes and sizes. The architecture shows clear evidence of skilled workmanship and practical building techniques. This overview presents some examples of these architectural forms, emphasizing their material composition and construction methods. Great Zimbabwe is a large stone complex located in southern Africa, known for its extensive use of granite blocks. The structures were built between the 11th and 15th centuries, covering a significant area with walls and enclosures. The construction method involved carefully fitting large, irregular granite stones together without the use of mortar. The walls, some several meters high, are built with a dry stone technique that relies on the precise placement and balance of stones. Key features include thick outer walls that curve and enclose open spaces within, as well as a tall, conical tower made from the same stone. The layout demonstrates a planned arrangement of spaces using the natural contours of the land. No mortar was used, which highlights the advanced skill of the builders in shaping and stacking stones for stability and durability. The stones were shaped and arranged to create walls strong enough to stand for centuries. This site is an example of the technical ability to create large-scale stone structures using locally available materials and traditional building methods. The Sahel region of West Africa, located just south of the Sahara Desert, is known for its distinctive earthen architecture. Builders in this area developed techniques for constructing durable structures using local materials such as mud bricks, which were often dried in the sun. One of the most notable examples of Sahelian architecture is the Great Mosque of Djenné, located in Mali. The mosque is made primarily from mud bricks, and its construction technique relies on a method known as banco, where mud and straw are mixed together to create bricks. The large mosque has thick walls and a series of prominent wooden beams that protrude from the walls to support the structure and provide ventilation. The design of the mosque, like other Sahelian buildings, is influenced by the need to cope with the hot, dry climate. The thick mud walls help insulate the interior, keeping it cool during the intense heat of the day and warm during the colder nights. A key characteristic of Sahelian architecture is the annual process of maintenance and repair. Local communities come together to replaster the mosque using fresh mud during the dry season. This tradition, known as crepissage, helps preserve the structure and reinforces the sense of community involvement in architectural preservation. These earthen constructions demonstrate the ability of traditional techniques to create sustainable, long-lasting buildings that are well suited to their environment. The use of mud and other natural materials creates structures that blend seamlessly with the landscape, while showcasing the ingenuity of the builders. Along the eastern coast of Africa, the Swahili city-states developed a unique architectural style that was strongly influenced by the trade routes linking Africa to Arabia, Persia, and India. The use of coral stone became a defining feature of this architectural tradition, as the Swahili people utilized the abundant coral reefs along the coast to construct their buildings. Swahili cities such as Kilwa, Lamu, and Mombasa are famous for their coral stone buildings, many of which are still standing today. Coral stone, a material harvested from the reefs, was cut into blocks and used for constructing homes, mosques, and palaces. The stone is durable and naturally resistant to the coastal environment, making it an ideal building material for the region. One of the most significant examples of coral stone architecture is the Great Mosque of Kilwa, which was built in the 14th century. This mosque features a large prayer hall, beautifully carved wooden doors, and a dome, which was a rare feature in sub-Saharan Africa at the time. The use of coral stone, along with the incorporation of Islamic architectural elements, highlights the fusion of African and Islamic cultural influences along the Swahili coast. Swahili architecture also includes homes with interior courtyards that provide privacy and ventilation. These buildings often have high, thick walls with small windows, allowing for natural cooling in the hot, humid climate. The roofs are typically made from thatch or timber, further utilizing locally available materials. The Swahili city-states were bustling centers of trade, and the architecture of these cities reflects the wealth and cultural exchange that occurred as a result of their strategic location along the Indian Ocean trade routes. The use of coral stone, combined with the region's climate considerations and cultural influences, created an architectural style that was both functional and visually distinctive. In many parts of West Africa, architecture is deeply intertwined with cultural beliefs, social organization, and environmental adaptation. Communities in regions such as Mali, Burkina Faso, and Ghana developed distinctive architectural forms that reflect both their physical surroundings and their spiritual views. One of the most notable features of West African architecture is the use of geometric patterns in the design of homes and communal spaces. Among the Dogon people of Mali, for example, village layouts and individual dwellings often follow geometric forms that represent cosmological concepts. Granaries, which are built in a similar style to the homes, may take on shapes symbolizing fertility and nourishment. In Tiabeli, Burkina Faso, the Kassina people have developed a unique architectural style known for its Tata homes. These homes are built using mud and wood and feature intricately painted walls. The patterns and designs on these walls are not just decorative, they are symbolic, often telling stories or representing elements of the natural world. This approach to design underscores the importance of visual symbolism in daily life. Similarly, the Bata Mariba of Togo and Benin use large, fortress-like structures for homes called Tata Samba. These buildings have high walls made of mud and are often adorned with geometric motifs, making them both practical and aesthetically significant. The high walls of the Tata Samba serve both to protect inhabitants and to provide a sense of community order. These architectural forms are not merely functional. They also communicate the social structure, family roles, and spiritual beliefs of the people who built them. In these West African societies, architecture is a way to connect the built environment with the natural and spiritual world, creating spaces that are both practical and symbolic. The continued use of these traditional methods and designs speaks to the enduring nature of these architectural practices. They highlight the deep cultural significance embedded in every aspect of the built environment. In the dense rainforests of Central and West Africa, communities developed unique architectural traditions that were closely tied to their environments. The Yoruba, Ashanti, and Edo peoples, among others, developed building methods that were well suited to the forested landscapes in which they lived. One notable example is the Kingdom of Benin, where impressive structures such as walls and moats were constructed using earth and served to protect the city. These earthworks are remarkable for their scale and engineering precision, with some stretching over 16,000 kilometers in total length. In Yoruba communities, such as the city of Ile-Ife, architecture featured open courtyards and tall, carved pillars. These structures used locally available materials like wood and mud, shaped to create a sense of order and efficiency in their design. Similarly, the Ashanti people in present-day Ghana built homes with steep roofs, designed to protect against the heavy rainfall in their region. Ashanti public buildings and palaces were often adorned with decorative motifs, adding both functional and aesthetic value to the structures. The architecture of these forest communities was designed to suit their specific environmental needs. The use of local materials combined with functional design allowed for the construction of durable, resilient structures that harmonized with the surrounding landscape. These architectural traditions continue to influence contemporary design in various regions of Africa, highlighting the long-standing relationship between culture, environment, and building techniques.
Many building techniques from pre-colonial Africa are still used or have inspired construction methods today. These methods typically involve natural materials like mud, wood, and stone, which are readily available in local environments. Some modern builders continue to use these materials for practical reasons, such as durability and suitability to climate. Examples include public buildings and houses that benefit from the insulating properties of natural materials. Construction with locally sourced materials can simplify maintenance and reduce the need for imported products. This makes it easier to repair and sustain buildings over time using nearby resources. The ongoing use of these techniques shows how practical and efficient they are for certain regions. These methods represent building practices developed through long experience in response to local conditions. By understanding these traditional approaches, builders can continue to create structures that are both functional and well adapted to their environment. Discover the brilliance of Africa's architectural heritage. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, share, and subscribe to keep the story alive.